Thank you so much for staying with us. My guest is right here in the studio with me, Senator Dino Melaye. Thank you so much.
Yeah, good morning.
Joining us.
Good morning, Nigerians. Thank you.
Your party has been shouting on top of its voices, concern about the state of affairs of the country, the security situation, the economy, everything. Why this heightened concern at this point in time?
Yeah, one will say that not only my party, Nigerians have been shouting. We are in a very precarious situation in this country. We are actually in a perilous time. We've never seen what we're seeing in this country before now. Every facet of our national life is sick. From insecurity to the economy, to breakdown of infrastructure. And this completely has been threatening the very foundation of our beloved country. If you look at what is happening in this country today, at the end of the day, you will just know that it's failure of leadership. And at times, you look at it, failure of leadership at all levels, because once the head is rotting, the entire body is destroyed. The country is not only sick, but equally suffers from what I call a dreadful congenital abnormality.
What does that mean?
It means the country is suffering from a problem that is irrevocably not only contagious, but there's a possibility that there will be no redemption.
Is this real or imagined?
It's very, very real. As I speak with you, a few days ago, we had 400 Northerners were arrested in Abia at about 3 a.m. in the morning, moving in 35 buses. The implication of that is that information gathering in this country is dead. Because how will they move all the way from up north only to be arrested or accosted in the southern part of the country?
Is it in Abia or in Ondo State?
Abia.
There's an incident.
There's another one in Ondo State. Another one happened in Ondo State. So what we are saying is that we are in a very, very precarious situation, and all this boiled down to failure of leadership. And the body language of Mr. President, the body language of this government also is not encouraging. Because this particular government have the strength, but they do not have the will. They do not have the spiritual will, they do not have the moral will, they do not have the political will to be decisive and take action. For example, why Nigerians are disenchanted, why this problem may not see the light of the day, is because since March last year, till this minute, our government is being run on Zoom. Federal Executive Council, back to back, over 1 year, is on Zoom.
Is it not in the light of the present realities, the new normal?
It is not normal. Why are we holding the Federal Executive Council on Zoom? 3 weeks ago, or 4 weeks ago, 797 billion was approved on Zoom. 1 hour 30 Zoom meetings. You are not defending memos. There's no critical analysis of projects, policy formulation and implementation done on Zoom. America, that is the worst hit by COVID, don't hold Zoom executive meetings. And if less than 60 people, because the Federal Executive Council, they are less than 60, or about 60. So if 60
less
people,
than 60, actually.
Less than 60. So if less than 60 people are complaining of COVID, when 109 senators are sitting, when 360 members of the House of Representatives are sitting, then you know that it is not a problem of COVID. It is a problem of incompetence. It is a problem of incapacitation. It is a problem of gross.
The area surface of the council chamber of the presidential villa is far less than the National Assembly. And perhaps the government should not be seen to be violating the safety protocols, non-pharmaceutical measures.
No. Nigeria is Nigeria. And I want to tell you, there's a banquet hall, even with observation of COVID protocol, can take 1,000 people. That's the banquet hall in the villa. It's there. And even the chambers, the council chamber of the villa, can take 60, even with the protocol COVID. But that's what I'm saying is that the signal to Nigerians is that there is a problem somewhere. And we have a problem because the president is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. President Buhari needs to speak to Nigerians directly, need to commune with Nigerians, need to converse with the media, need to ask questions. Our president is absent. And this have a negative concomitant effect on the war against insecurity in this country. As I speak to you, it is very pathetic, but our president is not available. This is the first time in the history of mankind that we hear presidency says, Garba Shehu will talk, presidency says, Adesina will talk, presidency says. We want to hear president say, we didn't vote for presidency.
Are they
didn't vote for Garba Shehu.
Are they not employed to speak for the president?
They are to speak for the president when there is a policy information. But in terms of interaction, we voted for President Muhammadu Buhari, not Garba Shehu. We want to hear president said, not presidency says. All this put together, culminate together, encourage the insecurity that we are passing through. When last did you hear the president, or have you ever heard the president sit down and say, you, the IGP, if you cannot take care of insecurity in so, in 3 months, you are fired? Have you heard the president say, come, the chief of army staff, if you cannot flush Boko Haram in 6 months, you are fired? The country is sick, killing is pervasive. Look at the innocent children
Just
in Kaduna.
a moment ago, I announced the suspension of the managing director of Nigerian Ports Authority. That's an action from the president.
That is politics. It has nothing to do with insecurity that is bedeviling us. We want to see his actions in the areas that matters. When they play their internal politics, that's their problem between the Minister of Transport, herself, and that's their own internal problem. But what I'm saying in essence is that we cannot continue to keep quiet. Unfortunately, Nigerians are yet to realize that in an unjust society, silence is a crime. This problem is pervasive because the people who ought to speak are not speaking. I'm totally disappointed in so many people we call men of God in this country. From my understanding of the word of God, in the Old Testament, prophets are change agents. God sent them to kings to tell the kings, repent or so. That was what happened to Jonah on his way to Nineveh. That was why Moses was told to go and tell Pharaoh, let my people go. That was what Joshua did. And the same thing in the Quran. But these days, people are not coming out to speak the truth. They are afraid of Buhari. Buhari is a human being. He's not an angel. He's not a prophet. He's Buhari of Daura. I have conquered fear. I'm not afraid of anyone. Because if you look at it, the tree of freedom, the tree of liberty, will only be watered by the blood of martyrs. I have conquered fear. I'm not afraid of death. I'm not afraid of arrest. They can even stay by your gate and arrest me after this program. I'm used to it. But we cannot keep quiet in the face of obvious obscurity.
Now, will you say
this country is going to the brink? Every facet of our national life, the economy, insecurity, everything, Buhari's cause F9 parallel.
Now, will you categorize Bishop Cook and Father Mbaka in this, and so many, Cardinal Naek, or many of them speaking of, will you categorize them into?
That's why I use the word some.
Okay, some.
Or most. Almost, even the Islamic clergy, it is their responsibility to speak. Where are the CSOs? Where are the CSOs? Where are the civil society organizations? Where are the activists? Where is MBA?
Perhaps they didn't interpret the reality, the situation, the same way you have. Perhaps they could believe that things are normal.
We are all Nigerians. The people being killed are our brothers, our sisters, our nephews. Now you heard what is happening in Abuja here. How can individuals be the ones citing either Boko Haram or bandits in Kuje and other outskirts of the town when we have security agencies? Is that not a misnomer? Does it not show that something is wrong? And all this I am still telling you boils down to leadership failure. The president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is grossly incompetent, is not capable, and all I expect is that since this man has shown more than enough evidence that he has no capacity to run this country, President Buhari should, in the interest of children that are yet unborn, in the interest of Nigerians that are dying, please excuse us. It's not something very heavy. It's not something terrible.
Do I have
just hi Muhammadu Buhari, hereby resign, but simple.
Okay, resignation is an option which he will not likely take. Then the second option is impeachment. Just 2 days ago, the APC caucus in the National Assembly responded to the issues raised by your party's caucus, saying they stand with this president. Nothing will happen to this president, and this president will not be impeached. Of course, you know they have the numbers.
It is expected they will speak like that, because both chambers of National Assembly, the leadership of the both chambers of National Assembly is a creation of the villa. So as you speak now, National Assembly is a department, it's an appendage of the villa.
Not a separate, independent.
You just heard that. You just heard what they said, that they will not impeach him. They will not. He's not going anywhere, despite the array, the magnitude of insecurity in the country today, despite the gross display of incompetence by this government. When last did you see your president supervising projects, commissioning projects, or visiting here and there? When last did he leave the villa?
Yeah, I've seen him commission virtually a lot of projects.
But we are not virtual human beings. We are physical human beings. This program is not virtual. I'm talking to you. So we are not spiritual. We are not celestial. We are physical human beings. And Boko Haram are physical people. It's not a spiritual battle. Unfortunately, morally, medically, spiritually, politically, the presidents have failed. And there is no other door to drop all this, because he swore, had the Quran on his left hand, had the Constitution of the Federal Republic on his right hand, and he promised to defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And chapter 2 of that Constitution is the most potent part of that Constitution that says that the security and the welfare of the people shall be the primary occupation of government.
You raised some issues about our foreign debt, that our national debt, I moved from about 10 trillion when PDP was in power to almost 33 trillion. And your party is concerned that if we don't put an end, in fact, part of your demand is that we should stop forthwith further borrowings.
APC is what Yoruba people call Omoni Nokuno. Omoni Nokuno is a prodigal child. With the level of debt they are accumulating, we are in a catastrophic situation in this country. And they have not stopped borrowing. But the worst is that if you are borrowing for development, if you are borrowing for infrastructural growth, we can understand. But they are borrowing for consumption. They are borrowing for recurrent. Only an irresponsible father will take a loan to buy champagne. And that is what we are doing in this country. We are in a very
champagne?
Very dangerous.
I've not seen any of that.
I'm speaking is a figure of speech.
Okay,
I'm saying that we are borrowing for consumption.
Okay.
Show me all these borrowings all over the years. What tangible thing have come out of it? And the ones we are doing with China, a project that will cost 10 million naira. You go and say China is bringing, China will look at it, assess it, and say it's 100 million. That's what is happening. Nigeria will sign, say you, Nigeria, bring 10 million as counterpart your funding. And that 10 million Nigeria is bringing is what is enough to do the job.
Now,
then you will now owe them.
This is a huge allegation.
It's not a huge allegation, and I can buttress it. I can prove it. Because the same China is operating in some other African countries, carrying out different projects, including rail transport business. And we can do a comparative analysis of what those countries are paying and what Nigeria is paying.
But there are different environments.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Rail is rail. Those people even have a more complicated texture of soil than even Nigeria. So the whole thing is fraud. Instead of having democracy in this country as government of the people, by the people, and for the people, in this APC government, what we have is greediocracy. Government of the greedy, by the greedy, and for the greedy. For example, look at my state. Kidnapping every day. I was on TV the other day, I saw my governor told a compound lie that the kidnap of one of the local government chairmen did not happen in Kogi State. Something that happened in Kogi State. My own colleague, Senator Clifford Odia, was coming all the way from Edo Within a space of 1 hour in Kogi State, he got attacked twice. Even with his mobile policemen around him. 3 of them were hospitalized. He got attacked between Okene and Lokoja. He got attacked again between Lokoja and Abaji. On the same trip. That's to tell you the magnitude of insecurity we have in this country today. And people are afraid. I don't know why. People cannot speak. I don't know why.
Now, if you're concerned with borrowings and you want it to end, what about ways and means principle the central bank is using?
You cannot give.
That's the printing of currency.
Let me tell you,
a concern
the problem why we will continue to borrow, this government rather will continue to borrow, is that you cannot give what you don't have. In the whole of Buhari's government, from Security and Exchange Commission to CBN to Ministry of Finance to what's it called, budget and planning, all the financial sector of his government, there's no single economist. I challenge you. There is no single economist heading any of them. The
head of budget office?
I'm saying that there is no single. I'm talking on a live TV, and I am open to reaction.
We'll find out.
I'm telling you that there is no single economist. Once you give carpentry job to a tailor, it will not perform.
I mentioned Akabweze, the head of budget office.
I'm talking of management of the economic structures of the country.
The budget office is critical to it.
That is not answerable to a minister. It's answerable to a minister. I'm talking of the man whose box top on the table.
Who verified that?
Verify that.
Who verified the status or the academic background of the Minister of Finance?
Go and confirm. Confirm. There's no economist among them.
Okay.
And automatically, you cannot expect miracles to happen when you are operating a government of Zoom.
Okay.
By Zoom and for Zoom.
Let's take a break. When we come